Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Today, I really wanted to focus on waking up the body, of course, but I wanted to also focus on releasing fear. I think fear is something that we experience a lot in our daily lives, in the chaos and uncertainty that our brains are not hardwired for. Our brains are not hardwired for uncertainty. And I wanted to remind you that fear is not rooted in fact. Fear is rooted in the storylines we create in our mind and in the negative thoughts and narratives we create. So fear is not rooted in fact will be the intention for today's practice. So we'll just place our hands on our knees, close our eyes, and we're going to take 3 breaths with intention together. So with our eyes gently closed, we're going to take a big inhale through the root, up through the belly, the chest. Feel the shoulders straighten and maybe lift up. And then as you exhale, feel the shoulders drop a little lower. Feel the breath release and the body melt. Inhale again, really coming from the root and watching the breath travel up to the crown. Pay attention to those micro movements of breath. And on the exhale, from crown to root, the breath releases and the body softens. Last time together, a big inhale through the belly, from the root, and drawing the whole body up. Feel the body straighten, feeling strong and awake. And as you exhale, feel the tension release. Feel the shoulders drop low, and feel yourself coming home to your body. So now gently open your eyes. You can look just very gently in front of you, and we'll bring our legs into butterfly, Titalayasana. Very classic pose here. But with our feet together, you can kind of wiggle from side to side a little, see how that feels. And if you are ready for a little bit of a forward fold, I recommend interlacing your fingers, kind of cupping the toes. And then you can either work to get the knees closer to the ground, or you can try to lean forward. We're going to hold it for about 5 breaths. So try to find a place where it feels just a little uncomfortable, right? Just meeting that edge and acknowledging how the hips can hold memories and stories, a lot of tension. It's definitely a place we quickly guard, we quickly shield whenever we feel vulnerable. Our bellies, our hips, we like to curl in on ourselves for protection. So again, breathe really deep into the belly. Feel as the belly expands, the extra challenge that this adds to the hips. And on this last breath we spend, this last 10 seconds, just really focus on seeing if you can get 1 millimeter more deeply into this pose. Just meeting that edge. And then slowly on an inhale, we rise up gently and slowly. Now we're going to do a little twist with Ardha Matsyendrasana, as we'll take our right leg and we'll bend it beneath us, right leg beneath. The left leg we're going to cross on top and over. If this is really intense, if you notice some pain, maybe in the ribs or the area, you can have your foot about here. If that's not too stressful, cross it over. Since for me, the left leg is on top, I'm going to want to go to the left direction. So my left hand goes behind me, my right hand goes up, and then I twist by putting my elbow to my knee, and I focus on looking behind me. This can be pretty intense, so you're welcome to twist in the opposite direction if you have rib pain. If you're in rib pain, maybe twist the same direction that your leg is going. If not, just continue to use, just for 2 more breaths, the elbow kind of as that torque to get a little bit more deeply into the pose Again, focus on looking behind you. And then gently come back to center, unraveling the body, removing the leg. And we'll switch sides. Take both knees out, tuck the left leg, right leg on top. And again, with the right leg on top, we're going to be going in the right direction. So that means the right hand comes behind, left hand up to the sky. We're going to be twisting then, twisting behind us. We often know how hindsight is 20/20. When we look back, we see things we missed, and that perspective can often give us softer eyes and softer hearts. It's an amazing thing to cultivate, to be present and mindful that we wish we were softer in the present, to see if we can call that forth in our days. Now gently come back to center, cross the legs. If that feels comfortable, if cross-legged, you're welcome to sit on top of a pillow. We're going to stretch the side body, the intercostal muscles, and some of the obliques, and maybe even down into the QL, which is responsible, quadratus laborum, for a lot of back pain. So it's fantastic. So from here, you can put your right hand on the mat. We're going to lift our left hand over and then bend the elbow as much as you can, maybe all the way to the mat, and stretch the side body. The goal is not to get that left hip popping up. We really want to keep the feet and the hips and the thighs on the mat as rooted as possible. Just a little pop is okay, but not a big one. And we're going to breathe deep. Really see if you can extend. Act like you want to touch the side wall. Really imagine that you're reaching out to touch it. It's actually scientifically proven that through imagining, we'll say like cracking a walnut in between our thighs or something, or reaching. Hey everyone, sorry. Technical difficulties with Remy now doing the Wi-Fi box. I have my my computer going. So just thumbs up, you can hear me okay? Thumbs up, okay, cool. We'll continue, sorry about that. So we're gonna stretch now on the opposite side, that side body stretch we did. We're gonna put our left hand to the mat. We're gonna bend, if you can, the elbow a little bit or all the way, and then inhale and lift the right hand overhead. Drop the right hand over. And I really like to try to keep my eyes on the sky. Keep my eyes upward. Keep the chest and heart open. It's tempting to collapse the chest, to want the chest to face the ground, but we really want that beautiful extension to continue from the side body into the heart, maximize our benefits and our connection. Great work. Come back to center, and then just a really simple twist, opposite direction to the right, a simple, simple twist to the left. Great job. And we'll come back to center. From here, straighten out your legs. We're going to do a pose I love. It's called Bu Namaskara. It's earth honoring pose. And what you do from here is you have your hands placed. We'll go to the left first. And with the hands kind of placed, one near the hip, one farther behind you, you bend and try to touch your forehead to the mat. Trying to keep both of your hips close to the ground. Inhale, come up. Exhale. We go to the other side. One hand, the left hand, closer to the hip. Right hand almost all the way behind you. Bend and place the forehead close to the mat. We're going to repeat this a couple times. Really experiment with the hand placement. It might feel more comfortable to have a hand more towards the center, a little farther out. My hands are about the distance of my shoulders. It's not a crazy distance, but when we're honoring the earth like this, dropping our forehead to the mat, you probably feel something, again, a little dramatic in the lumbar area, in the QL area as well. I love all we can do to prevent back pain. So we'll do one more each side. And down. And opposite side, last time. Great work. Perfect. From here, come to a nice tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll go through a couple cat-cows, lubricating the entire spine as you drop the belly low and look up. And then as you become the Halloween cat, you exhale, really pushing out of the hands. Inhale, belly low, look up. Exhale. Go ahead and become the Halloween cat. Inhale, look up. Push out of the hands. Really focus on lengthening the arms. And then become the Halloween cat again. Push out of the hands. Lengthen the arms. Drop the head low. And then come back to a neutral spine. Great work. We're going to curl our toes, tuck the toes, and raise our hips to the sky in downward dog. And here it might be a little difficult to get the heels close to the mat, but we're going to focus on maybe bending our legs a little bit then, bending the knees, so that we can get our chest closer to our thighs. There's no straight leg competition. It's all about kind of really letting the asana work for you and your own biology and your own biography. That's something that Bernie Clark says, and I love that about how every body is so different based on our biology and our biography. So from here, take the right foot up to the sky. It can go straight, it can bend, whatever's comfortable. And then from here, draw it through. And then we're going to drop that leg front, coming to a pigeon pose. So it's a bent leg. You can go up to 45 degrees with it, really having it more at this angle. I find that's very uncomfortable for the shape of my bones. So I like to have it more in a diagonal across the room. My foot is tucked in very close to my pelvis. My back leg extended. My toes are not tucked. Then come up onto your fingertips here for this really strong expression, king pigeon. Inhale, and then if you feel comfortable exhaling, try to see if you can come down to one elbow and maybe two. King pigeon is a wonderful asana to explore this sense of edge. I find it's very challenging on the glutes, on the hips. You might feel something in your back as well, maybe even shoulders, depending on where your elbows are. But I think that this is a pose you want to escape from. I know that after a certain number of breaths, it becomes very challenging. So to really breathe and be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Remember, fear is not rooted in fact. This will not hurt you. There's no storyline that you should tell yourself about this is too much. This is, anything you're creating. Just breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push up. Now tuck the toe, and what I like to do is just kick the leg back and forth a few times, just some kind of donkey kicks style, just kind of releasing some of that tightness and getting some circulation back into the leg. Great job. Back to tabletop, tuck the toes, and downward dog. Now here again, you can bend the knees as much as you need. Drop the head really low and shake the head out. Shake it. See if you can put a smile on your face. Release that tension in the jaw. Anything you're fighting, let it go. And then take the left leg up to the sky. Draw the leg forward before you drop it to the mat. Extending the back leg out, pigeon on the other side, untuck the toes. Again, my leg could be at 45, but I have it more at the diagonal. Again, just depending on how open your hips are and the anatomy of your body. From here, come to your fingertips, really straighten the spine. If you want to put a pillow underneath the hips, you're welcome to do that, an extra blanket under the knees. If not, fold forward over the leg and see if you can get 1 elbow down, 2 elbows, and if you want the really extra challenge, you're welcome to drop your forehead all the way to the mat. Take some big, deep breaths into the hips, into the belly. You know we'll be here for about 20 seconds. You know what's coming. No uncertainty, nothing to be surprised about. But both sides may experience this very differently, our left and our right. They have totally different histories, totally different jobs. You carry your purse on the right side or your left, or you do all of your typing on your phone with one hand, or you drive with predominantly one hand, or you're left-handed, or there's all these things that create tensions in the arms and in the legs, depending on if we cross our legs and how we walk and how we work out. Great work. 20 seconds. It flew by. All right, prop up the body. Tuck the toes so that you can free your leg, kick it back and forth a couple times. Just again, circulation. Beautiful thing here. Just a couple more times, letting it go. Great job. Now tuck the toes again, downward dog, just for 1 big inhale. 1 big exhale. Now draw that right leg up to the sky again, if comfortable, straight as possible, if it's available. Then draw the knee towards your chin. Drawing the knee, we're kind of curling the body up a little bit. This is a challenge, hopefully not too much engagement, over-engagement. And then drop that right foot in between the hands if possible. If not, you can scoot it forward. Drop your back knee. And then I like to untuck my toes here and draw my hands on top of my knees for a low lunge. Again, really intense sensation in the back leg, likely on the top part of the thigh. You might get some work into your inner adductors. And then if you feel comfortable, inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, your hands just straight in front of you. Inhale your hands towards your heart, and exhale, push your hands away from you. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, just straight out. Inhale, hands to heart. And exhale, hands push. Beautiful work. Hands to mat. Now just shift your weight back and extend your front leg. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. I like to flex my feet closer to my nose. Just really nice, long stretch down the hamstrings. And then maybe come back halfway towards the lunge, not all the way, just a little bit forward, and then come back, straighten the legs on the fingertips. One more time, we escape the pose. We escape it, coming halfway back to a lunge. Nothing to strain the body, only to enter it again. This straight leg Ardha Hanumanasana, the more we kind of can convince our body that there's an escape route, the more that it can give us. It's incredible how it works that way. It likes to stay convinced that it can be safe. Great work. Walk the hands forward. Free the leg, kind of so you're back almost in a tabletop. We'll come to our bellies, and we'll just put our hands underneath our chins, and we're going to windshield wiper our legs. So bending the knees, and just drop the legs from side to side. We're just going to release any tension that might have built up in the lumbar while we did a little bit of work. If this is too intense on your abdomen, I invite you to maybe raise your body up, sinks or bring some tension off of the stomach. Great. Be too long at the head. And inhale, let the left leg rise up. On an inhale, draw the knee towards the chin, hovering for 3, 2, and 1. And drop that left foot in between the hands. Help it however it needs to get there. And then drop the back knee, drop the back foot, and then place the hands on the knee to start to experience this intensity in that top of the thigh region, the hip flexors, the adductor. Very important area, very vulnerable area for our psyche. And we inhale the arms up, looking up, the gaze follows the hands. Exhale, gaze follows the hands straight in front of you. Inhale, hands towards the heart like you're welcoming something in. Exhale, push the hands away from you, releasing. Inhale, hands go overhead. Exhale, hands to front, in front of you. Inhale, draw everything good towards your heart. Exhale, push out the fear. Drop the hands to the mat and then draw your weight over your back foot, shifting weight backwards, straightening the front leg. Great work. Escape the pose a little bit, just a gentle escape. Shift forward. Come back, Ardha Hanuman, half splits. Dropping the head towards the knee if comfortable. And then shift forward, escaping it just a little bit. One last time, back into half splits. Again, convincing the body it is safe. A little strain, of course, little discomfort, finding that edge. Yeah, great work. So then we're going to come back to table. And then instead of coming down to our bellies, we're going to get down onto our backs. So however is comfortable for you, I like to just shift my legs down in front of me. If you're worried about anything on your stomach, come down to your elbows behind you before sliding down onto the back. Take a big breath. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Great work. We're going to just do 2 short asanas before Shavasana. And this one will be happy baby if you're comfortable with it. You grab a hold of your big toes through the legs, not coming from the outside, but the inside. And then you kind of energetically want to draw your knees towards the ground. That might not happen in this lifetime, but that's the intention. If this is very vulnerable for you, you're welcome to cross your ankles and hug your knees to your chest. If you find happy baby just too vulnerable, it's just too much for you right now, you're welcome to cross the ankles and hug the knees. I like to rock gently from side to side. Again, it's very relaxing for the lower back as it invites this opportunity for bravery. A lot of bravery and a lot of vulnerability. So then we'll drop our legs down all the way back to the mat, a full release. Feel the body sink. Maybe readjust the scapula, shoulder blades. Big breath in and a big breath out. Now the last asana before Shavasana is a universal spinal twist. Bend the right knee, let the left hand connect to it and draw it across the body. So I'm pulling my leg across my body so it drops towards the ground, maybe touching it, and then extend my right hand like an airplane wing and I look across. So I'm twisting all the major muscle groups because I'm looking out at my right hand as it's extended. I'm stretching my neck, my shoulder, my spine, my hips. You can feel everything twisting here. And then come back to center. We'll do the opposite side. Extend the right leg flat, left leg bent. Right hand draws it across the body. So my left leg is going to the right. I extend my left hand out flat, trying to get the shoulder close to the mat, trying not to let my shoulders fly and float up. Look out to the left. And just really feel how deep and how intense this can be throughout the entire experience of the body. And then come back to Shavasana, laying flat. And just big exhale out the mouth. Big release. All of the pent up work we've done. We're going to melt into the mat together, really letting all the work sink in. We'll be here together for just a minute. So focus on the breath and on the mantra and sankalpa of today's practice, that fear is not rooted in fact. So on your inhales, feel very bright and light. And on your exhales, feel heavy and soft. If the mind wanders, just gently sweep it back to the breath, gently sweeping. And then inhale and exhale. Now gently wiggle your fingers and toes, just gently moving them. Stretch your arms out in a big good morning stretch, however it feels natural. I like to point my toes and fingers, stretching long. And then bend the knees and kind of curl the body into fetal position, giving yourself a little hug, a little gratitude for this gift of presence today. And then push the body up using the strength of your arms, not of your abdomen. Push the body up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe cross-legged, maybe it's time for a cushion. And then place the hands in the gesture of prayer over the heart. We'll bow together very slightly, a gentle bow, as we wish that all beings would be peaceful, all beings would be happy, and all beings would be led on the right path, free of suffering and free of sorrow. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. We'll straighten our spines, lifting our bodies up, feeling that freedom in the body. We'll draw our hands towards our forehead, raising them in prayer, connecting our thumbs to our third eye chakra, center of instinct, intuition, as we ask for and invite in positive thoughts. Let the hands in prayer float over the mouth as we ask for and invite in positive words, and the hands float back down over the heart as we ask for and invite in positive actions and positive intentions. Together we bow gently and say, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a joy to be with you. I am going to hit end class so that we can then go to the cool down room together and just, you can let me know how you felt. So I'll just hit the button.